All right, everybody, we are back again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. I have the brother Kyla Genesis on with us again this Saturday night. And number one, let me say this: happy birthday to the great and late Malcolm X. I know a lot of you all have been out here celebrating this Meghan Markle situation, which is not going to benefit Black people at all. But I have not seen too many people give Malcolm X his birthday wishes, in which he deserves. So happy birthday to the late Malcolm X.
Al Malik Al-Shabazz.
Yes. Yeah, he changed his name. Malcolm I forgot. He changed his name.
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Malcolm Little.
Malcolm Little. Yeah. So like I said, the segue to that is, by the way, Al Sharpton says that because of this marriage, you've seen that where it means white supremacy is coming to an end. And so, I wish we had the Price is Right losing horn. Boom, man.
Yeah.
So we gotta get some sound effects. You know what I'm saying? Bump, bump, bump.
Okay, I'll make sure I'll work on the sound effects. I will definitely work on the sound effects. But I'm gonna say this. So, real quick, Queen Charlotte. Are you familiar with Queen Charlotte?
Yeah, back in the days, I think she was. She looked like she was mixed race or something like that. I think. As a matter of fact,
I was reading about it. She wasn't really mixed race. I think like her great grandmother.
Yeah, was Ashanti or something.
Her great grandmother was like her great great grandmother was like was an African concubine.
Yeah. That went on. Let me see. People don't know that history. A lot of British royals and Dutch royals took African wives. You know what I'm saying? And people don't know that history. The mixed race kids were raised as British, and that wasn't aristocrat. They never rose to like queen or something like that. But there was a lot of mixed people in the thing, because British went all around the world.
Right.
Part of the British Empire was married. If you got some duke of this, they can marry into some aristocratic family in the way over thing. Because remember something, there wasn't a barrier. Because remember something, Marie Antoinette and the British English, the aristocrats always married each other. They both were in on it, controlling the masses of population. You know what I'm saying? So that was no different in Africa too. The
Right.
Portuguese were famous for marrying in African societies and African kings.
Well, so let me back up for a second. So Charlotte's great whoever got the concubine pregnant, he was Portuguese.
Yeah. And so this went on because, of course, they don't want you to know that, because it's, they want to whitewash history. I'm not celebrating this marriage or anything like that, but just something you need to know, something we need to know. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because it's something we just have to know. It's a matter of fact. Yeah, okay, yeah, it happened. This and no biggie. As a matter of fact, to tell you the truth, Queen Victoria gave. She was another one that she looked like she could have been mixed, whatever like that. And she gave Joseph Jenkins Roberts. He went there to see her. Some people say he had an affair with her, whatever. She went there. He went to England to visit her to give recognition for his country and tell the British scoundrels on the coast to leave Liberia alone and stuff like that. Right. And she gave him like a couple of gunboats to battle the slave ships. And she was the anti-slavery patrol. And so J.J. Roberts, if you see J.J. Roberts, who's real light skinned, right? And with her, they look like they could be a couple. You know what I'm saying? That she had dark skin and dark hair, dark features. I think that was just odd. Some people say that maybe she had some African blood in her, or whatever like that. So that's why she was so partial towards Liberia. But that's like I said, that's another show, another topic. Yeah, tonight's topic is about tribalism.
Right.
And to me,
Coonery.
Tribalism is a new Coonery. And not only that is a Coonery, it's treachery. I'm going to talk about many different aspects of tribalism. If you knew tribal, see, the third thing is this, right? Before I get into that, right? The people who are most vulnerable to this are Black people in the West. You know what I'm saying? We automatically assume that there's this Pan-African movement going on in Africa. It's like coming to America. There's people, when you get to the African continent, there's people waiting with cherries and lilies to throw down the thing, and and the elephant's gonna part of the thing, and it's gonna be like Simba and welcome home, my African brother, and this, that, and the other thing. You know, you can get that experience, but don't expect it. You know what I'm saying? After you get there a couple of months, you become part of the tribal dialogue, and that's a really scary thing to be in. If you're African American, I would assume if you're over there, you know what I'm saying, you're a little okay, you fit in, you feel like you're writing people, just that the other thing, you're still American, you know what I'm saying? They still get you still got that US passport, it's something different, you know, something to behold. But after a while, when you get in there and you decide that's where you want to be and everything like that, the tribalism is real. Tribe decides who you marry. Because like I said, it's rare that you see Yorubas and Igbos marry.
Right.
Let's say tribalism, who you do, the echo, who you do business with, you know what I'm saying, where you go to school, where you live, generalizations about you. People are dismissive about you. What that just tells me is this. The reason why Europeans were able to get along with each other because they got to know each other. Let me give you an example. Europe was once a tribe 2,000 years ago during the Greeks and the Roman times. Europe was a barbaric place with hundreds of tribes, you know what I'm saying, warring with each other. You know what I'm saying? When the Romans occupied most of Europe, right, these people who once hated each other realized, look, we had an organized group of people that were able to come here and enslave us. Now we're fighting in their arenas for their amusement. So you had all these people that didn't know each other would come from all corners of the Roman Empire. They were mixing together as gladiators and slaves and everything like that, working in mines. And they're saying, wait a minute here. You know, I heard about your people and I heard you guys are dirty, filthy. But guess what? We're sitting here chained together now. You know what I'm saying? The real enemy was all the time with Rome. It wasn't each other. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, as people got more educated, they started saying, wait a minute here. Because of religion, a common language, people intermarrying, people being able to travel among each other, people able to fellowship among each other, picking up different languages, verbiages, even traditions and dances, constantly fusing, amalgamating rituals and rites and cultures and everything, leads people to become one. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. Think about that.
Right.
France was once the land of the Gauls, the Lombards, the Calvins, and a couple other people, you know, and the Franks. You know what I'm saying? But over the centuries, what did they all become? Frenchmen.
French.
You know what I'm saying? They become French. The English, we don't have to explain to anybody that the English was part of Normandy. When Normandy was part of England, you had the Anglos, the Saxons, the Jutes, the Vikings, all these people. But now you can't tell who's who. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why is it that the Europeans, when they started exploring the West African coast, they saw that they were unified. Even at that time, there were general agreements between the Portuguese, the Spanish, even though they hate each other. They would say, okay, we're going to deal with the black race this way. We're not going to sell them these weapons. We'll sell them these weapons right here. But we're not going to sell them weapons that can hurt us and they can turn on us, right?
Right.
We see them dividing, right? Anytime you see them uniting, whatever the situation is, we got to come together and stop that. I'm saying the Africans always have to be fighting against each other. All circumstances, Africans have to be divided. You cannot let them bring their culture together. You can't let them bring merge their languages. You know what I'm saying? You can't let them have like a common experience. So in other words, if you invade one tribe and enslave them, right? You let the other tribe go, right? And say, okay, you know, this is not between you. This is just between us and them. What that did was create with the Africans. Oh, this is not a race thing. That's just between them, the white man, and that tribe right there. Europeans deliberately did this, right, to make sure Africans didn't come unified and be like, wait a minute here, we're both faced with the same enemy. Now, the few Africans who thought like that, right, you know, were killed.
Right.
You said, wait a minute here. You know what I'm saying? Why are we fighting each other? You know what I'm saying? Why his home base is far away. We should be united. We have a common enemy. This enemy is the white race off the coast, you know, with his ships, you know, hauling our people out of here. That's the real enemy. But Africans to this day do not think like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't think like that. A Yoruba will sit there and talk all day to a white man about an Igbo. You know what I'm saying? a Hausa will sit there and talk to an Arab how he's more Arab or more close to Arab because of Islam. There, look what's going on in Boko Haram. What do you think that's all about? That's all about the Boko Haram people. It has nothing to do with really with culture. It has to do with the fact that Islam. You know what I'm saying? They had to do with Islam, and they're Arabized. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They don't see nationality. If people don't believe that there is a nation called Nigeria, how are you going to build one? How are you going to build a nation where people do not fundamentally believe that they're part of a so-called nation called Nigeria? You know what I'm saying? So how can you do that? So that's a conundrum Africa and West Africa particularly find itself in. You know? And so I know it's disheartening, but that's what it is. That's why I tell our people when we start doing business and we try to connect with Africa, we have to choose countries where they got that tribalism stuff under control. You know what I'm saying? Tribalism has to be under control. And like I said, I was in that one show we did, and the people reveal themselves too. I had a guy that was on there, a crew tribe guy. He up there said, "Yeah, we always
He's a troll. He's a troll. I know exactly what you're talking about. He's a troll."
Oh yeah. And I said, "Well, didn't we round up 56 of your chiefs and hang them? You know what I'm saying? And you failed at your plot." See, the crew tribe to this day, all they know is how to sabotage other Africans. You know what I'm saying? How to sabotage other Africans. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you can tell them. Say, look, can't you see the bigger picture? West Africa is the least developed part of the world. The reason why West Africa is developed because nobody is.
I wouldn't necessarily say the world. I mean,
can you tell me a part of the world that has more at least amount of sewer grid on the sewer grid?
India. From what I've heard, India is an absolute.
But I know, but some parts of India, but you got some parts of India that like Mumbai and stuff like that are so friggin' modern. You got parts of India now that got brand new housing and new cities being built, smart cities being built.
Yeah, but you can find that in West Africa too. Like I said, from what I understand, India is by far
about a third of it. But you can talk about billion people. About a third of India is very, very modern. Then you got it's India, but that's a cultural thing. You got some parts of India that still get eaten by tigers. You know what I'm saying? In the Sundarbans, they're still getting eaten by tigers, and they completely undeveloped. They'll never. That's their culture. They'll never be developed. You know what I'm saying? They'll never be developed. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way they are. You know what I'm saying? Some parts of India, you know what I'm saying? They'll never be developed. That's all they know. That's all they think. Then you got some parts of India that's very, very modern and rich. You know what I'm saying? You're like Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? It's like wow. That's the contrast. The whole world. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole world. You go to India, it's like a whole world. You got the third world, fourth world, fifth world, and you got the first world all in one place, you know? The trick is to get a country where everybody lives on the first world level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where everybody can have a basic of the first world level. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe first worldism and modernization and also education. Education where people see people as human beings. You know what I'm saying? They got depth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just an Igbo guy who loves money. Well, let me segue into that. You think it's time to play this video?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's play this video. And then I'm gonna play the other.
You're gonna play. You're gonna share the screen, or you need to
give I'm gonna share the screen.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You got it.
All right. Share. All right.
All right, is this the video right here?
Yeah. Can you hear it?
Yeah. You got to turn up the sound.
Okay, hold up 1 second. Okay, I had my thing on. Let me take my headphones out. Hold up.
All right, you want to send me the video?
Would be the mindset of Nigerians or the orientation that parents have given to their children about tribalism or about a particular tribe or culture?
I think the government and even the people themselves are responsible for that level of tribalism in Nigeria, because we tend to be nicer, to be more friendly to people that come from our tribes.
I think our parents are responsible for tribalism in Nigeria because it all boils down to what they pass on to us. If my mother told me that Igbo and outside we were born, I'll feel that when I'm grown up.
Well, I think what's responsible for the high level of tribalism in Nigeria is selfish interests. Really, I think it's because nobody wants the other man to be better than him.
I would blame it on religion because since the advent of religion, it has eaten up inside the heart of man, especially in our society, Africa as a whole. We have so many issues. So I think that's one of the major reasons we need to put those things behind and put our religion behind and just be liberal. Because I believe if one is liberal, then we can flow with everyone, both Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and there'll be one love.
Sunday Olorotola, who hails from the middle belt of Nigeria, served in the north and now lives with his family in the southwest of the country, tells us how times have changed.
I would say tribalism has been with us from when I grew up to know myself. And I can even say that it is now that to a certain extent one can say we are gradually getting over it, but not totally. Why I'm saying this is that in those days, if you want to marry, they will ask you, where is the person from? We even see, even in the West, same Western region, you say Ijebu and people from Ijebu cannot marry from people from Ekpa. If they are such a thing, if they are people from it cannot have married people. So in those days, it was very strong.
Preference of one's tribe over another can be seen in both the old and young. Sunday has experienced this firsthand.
During my NYC in Sokoto, some of my Hausa colleagues that were in the same office, they were graduates, but they told me that we can never be one. It's not that they told me that we are never one. That all those things that they tell us, that they told us in the orientation camp, that you should feel at home, that Nigeria is one, that all those things, but they just told us those things so that we will stay there.
While one ponders on this, the question that begs an answer is what is responsible for expressions and acts of tribalism? Could it be a product of mindset or selfish interests?
I believe it's the mindset, but then selfishness comes into play also. When we say the mindset of people, obviously when you have this mindset, or when you have been told time and time again that don't associate yourself with this particular set of people because they have this attribute and they can harm you or do this to you.
I don't believe people have selfish interests for tribalism because I feel it's an unconscious thing. If I see a Yoruba person, because the person is a Yoruba girl, because the person is Yoruba, I tend to be more friendly towards the person. So I think it's just the way we are programmed.
So people engage in it because of self-interest. But I think those people are few. It all boils down to our mindset. What we've been taught right from our childhood.
I believe that people engage in tribalism because of their selfish interests, really.
From the very beginning, man has had cause to mix with people of diverse tongues to form his society. Tribalism has damaging effects on this model of coexistence.
I believe the damaging effects of tribalism would be people not getting what they duly deserve because of belonging to a particular tribe, or as a result of being a particular tribe.
The damaging effects of tribalism are violence, hatred, disunity, and so on.
It has transcended into our political and economic life.
I think it does not make for us to be progressive. It does not bring about progress in any way because every man wants for himself and nobody wants for all.
It causes violence between ethnic groups, and also it brings about poverty in a way because one would want to help ease our border.
If there must be growth in the nation, then patriotism needs to thrive above tribalism.
I believe every tribe is the same. I believe there's no tribe that is higher than the other. I believe everyone is equal in their own right. I believe in equality of tribes, actually.
Irrespective of tribe, I believe that everyone is the same.
I don't believe we are the same, irrespective of the tribe. But in some cases, it depends on the environment too.
I don't believe people are the same. I believe our tribe has a way of shaping our orientation, the kind of person we are, how we think, the things we do, what we eat, what we wear, and so on. So I don't think people are the same.
I don't see tribalism as a problem. It's our leaders that normally use tribalism when they want to cheat us. The people that are cheating us in Nigeria, the people, they are one, either in the north, in the west, or in the east, they are one. Their children are in the same university abroad, studying together. It is when they come here, they will now be telling you that it's the outsiders that are dominating, it's the Southeast that are marginalized, people from the Southeast are marginalizing, or people from the West are marginalized. Their children in Harvard, they are in big universities, they are all studying together. So as far as when I see an African Nigeria at newsstand, reading newspaper, criticizing people from the north, I just laughed and go away. You know, these people, there is conspiracy among them. They are, in fact, they are one. Those people.
While some might agree that all humans are the same, irrespective of tribe, color, race, or religion, many still have generalizations when it comes to certain ethnic groups.
As an Igbo girl, I have grown up hearing, okay, Yorubas are very diabolic people, very selfish people, and then you walk with some of them and then you say, okay, this is actually different about them. So then you hear also that the Benin or the Edo people are very diabolic also, and then they have this there are just a number of things you hear about different tribes. I don't want to put anyone in this spot. And then you hear Igbos are very selfish also, that they like money too much, and then they will favor their own people. And then you say Omo Igbo. That's how you guys call them, right? Omo Igbo. So that's the thing. So I feel that's just about all I know about it. But personally, I am all about equality of tribes. I don't believe any tribe is higher than the other.
I believe the Yorubas are educated. They tend to believe in education, go to school more than the Igbos and Hausas. Then the Hausas, they believe in hard work and marrying of their girls like quickly. The Igbos, they believe in making money. They believe in making money. Like you must make money. You must make money. As a young child, a young man in Igbo land, you are taught like the orientation is already there. That you must make money. I've heard that the Igbo man likes money. I've heard that the Yoruba people are dirty, they're not neat. And then I've heard that the Fulani man or the Hausa man is not very intelligent and not very smart.
Most of these things are stereotypes. I believe, because I will not mention them, but I know I have an Ijebu friend who can share his last cover with anybody. But equally, I have another Ijebu person that before you can get 1 naira from him, it will take you a lot of persuasion. So the person that says maybe the people are nice, it depends on his own relationship with the people he related with in that in Jebula. With regard to the Igbo people, the only person that I can say where I have close contact with is Dr. Mrs. Amobi, and she's nice. They are business people, so they don't joke with their business. But like I tell people, when they come to us and say they want to buy something and they will bring the money, I say you cannot do that to an Igbo person. Instead, you will be paying little by little. When you complete the money for that item you want to pick, you come and pick it. They don't do all this, your book me down. I don't know. They don't do that one. I think that's a business sense, which is good. So, and I don't hold it against them.
For any country that will enjoy development and move forward, the people must learn to embrace one another. Then only will peace, security, and prosperity thrive.
I don't think it's possible to like be unified in Nigeria because we have different tribes and our leaders have been trying for so long to bring everybody together, but because we have different ideologies, it just cannot.
It is not possible for tribalism to be raised totally. However, it can be reduced through sensitization. We have to make people realize that Nigeria is one. That our main goal should be the unity of Nigeria. How Nigeria can compete with South Africa, USA, and the world's great, instead of just focusing on a minor issue like tribalism.
I think it's very possible for us to have a Nigeria without tribalism if everybody puts behind their own selfish interests and has some piece of love in their heart to share for the next person. I think that's like the basic. If you actually love your neighbor, you know some particular things.
I think Nigeria can be free of tribalism in the sense that if we coach the youths, our youths of now, I believe they have a future and they have a lot of things to do, a lot of things to achieve. So I believe if we can incorporate the speaking abilities in them, it will add so much value to them. In the sense that we start training them, and there are little trainings and little vocational jobs they can do and opportunities. Children need to be open to a lot of opportunities that will make people develop themselves, and also even the male child and the female child and the in this society we are. That's why I said the mindset. If we channel our mind to be positive, to work out well.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it for that one.
Oh.
Now,
okay, yeah. People are making some great points, Kala. Somebody in the chat room said they were, and you really don't hear like, well, you do somewhat, but they were speaking about their other tribes like they were different races.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly the problem. People are talking about like you said, Yoruba people. They don't even go into depth. No,
right?
Because obviously there's not a literary culture. Remember something. This is another thing. I'm gonna say this. A lot of people are gonna get mad when I say this. I don't know if I should.
Say it. They gotta hear it. Say it.
I'm sorry. African culture is not literate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Other people have literature that's passed down from centuries that they know. It's not enough to have a whole bunch of books in Timbuktu if nobody ever read them. When you have a literate culture, right? You don't think in terms of just what you see in front of you. You have automatically have a world view that puts you in the look at this. Look at the one girl talking. She's saying, "I don't think we're gonna be beautiful."
You got to stop sharing the screen.
Okay. How do I get out of here?
Go back to the screen and stop sharing it. I think you stopped it. Okay, we're good. Go ahead. I think no, you're not. You got to stop sharing the screen, bro.
Okay, how do I get out of it? Hold on. Do I go to control panel?
Yeah, go. Well, yeah, just like the Hangout screen where you set the option to share it. Just hit stop sharing. All right, there we go. I think we're good. We're good. Go ahead. We're good.
Okay. Oh, so we're back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, we're good. Go ahead.
Okay. By having a literary history where people are accustomed to hearing the ideas and thoughts of other groups of people that are similar to them or different from them, and they're able to see gauge what other people are able to do and everything, they don't have generalizations. You see that people are more similar than they are different, even around the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? People have more similarities. You go to any culture, you're gonna find good, bad, stupid, dumb, cool, clowns, fools, everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's no different than if you have your one group and this group right here. You know what I'm saying? You have to believe that on the whole, that your fellow man is about good, and that working with him or trying to understand him, you can understand that you can live in peace with that person and get to know him because you are trying to get along. Like in the Bible says, you have to make allowances. I'm not preaching nothing like that. It says you have to make allowances for your neighbor's faults. In other words, basically, if I want to be a brother with someone, I want you to be my brother. I gotta say to myself, he has these faults, but 80% of him is good. But let me make allowance for those faults. Let me work on those faults. Let me accept them. Let me not accept them, whatever like that. But don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. What happens is this. This is without getting this right, we're never going to build anything.
Right.
Because there's always going to be something that your next fellow fan does that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? And when you make generalizations, that is the most dangerous. I can't even fathom how dangerous that is in this day and time of the internet, a time where they in their own country can go to the thing and learn about their own other people. They got 180 million people. You know nothing about them, but just generalizations. Somebody told you, oh, stay away. And then you know what you said? The one girl said that.
What you say?
Doesn't it sound like the typical Nigerian when they come to America? Stay away from the Black Americans. Stay away from Black Americans. They're no good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They bring in their tribalism, which should die on the shores of Africa, to the world.
Calla, real quick, somebody's saying you can't replace tribalism. I'm sure you're going to get. I'm sure
you replace the tribal with enlightenment, and also people don't seem to understand something. Pan-Africanism was the replacement for tribalism.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? That was the replacement for tribalism. But the problem was we never had a Pan-African state, a Pan-African civilization. Liberia tried. Freetown, Sierra Leone tried, but we're overwhelmed by tribalism in the among the indigenous people who don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? So Nigeria, like I said, will never be that Pan-African state. If you're looking for Nigeria to be a Pan-African, you can forget it. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's what it is. And people who say, "Oh, you can't get rid of tribalism," want to see Black people always divided, fighting each other. While the Lebanese,
hey, Calla, the sound is going kind of in and out now.
Okay, let me put the let me play this one video. It's only a minute long.
Yeah, but the sound. I mean, I want us to be able to hear it. Go ahead and play. Let's see how it sounds.
Okay. Let's see. Screen share. Yeah, let's get these videos done, and I'm gonna put my headphone back in, or I might get it on my phone. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. Is this the one? Okay. Can you everybody see the screen?
Tanzanians stand out in the crowd of fellow Africans
Tanzania
who have been affected by tribal hatred and division. Here, tribalism is almost non-existent.
Yeah,
Since
non-existent.
creation of the nation, founding fathers President Julius Nyerere.
We will not reject anyone because of their tribe. If you do that, it is a great sin. It is also not proper to choose someone with no credentials just because he is from your tribe. This is nonsense.
13 years after his death, many people believe he single-handedly saved Tanzania from the claws of tribalism that seem to be haunting other parts of the continent today.
Through his spirit, he tried to bring about equality through the language of Kiswahili and through socialism.
Well, I'm not saying that there is no tribalism in Tanzania. I mean, because it's not at a level that's threatening.
Perhaps because there are more than 120 different tribes, none has been able to dominate on a political, economic, or cultural level. Education policies have also had an effect. The promotion of boarding schools meant that children from different backgrounds were scattered all over the country, promoting togetherness, removing tribal identification and belonging. Ima and Janet Munguni, who come from different tribes and have been married for 10 years, could not agree more.
With intermarriages, it taught us not to look at our differences in background as to where you come from, where I come from. Right now, I can be married to, I'm married to her. But if I wasn't, I could be married to anybody from anywhere. That includes Europe, Asia, anywhere. And nobody would care so much.
The majority of Tanzanians still practice tribal customs, but that has not been allowed to stand in the way of non-tribal thinking.
Since independence, all 4 of the country's presidents have been from different tribes, displaying that the voting patterns in the country have less to do with tribalism and more to do with evicting corrupt politicians via a democratic process. Tulana Buhela, BBC, Dar es Salaam.
One more video. It's a minute long. You ever heard of Professor P.L.O. Lumumba?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, he's a legend.
He's on fire. This is somebody we gotta get on the show, you know.
Some of you may be aspiring to positions of leadership in the political arena, but the question is, why do you want to lead? In Africa, the shortest route to ill-gotten wealth is political leadership. If you want to get wealth without working for it at all, join African politics. That is the truth everywhere in Africa, except for very few places. The only place that stands out now in that regard is Tanzania with President John Pombe Magufuli. The rest in Africa, I do not know. Excuse me, I'm a visitor. They hunt and gather buildings and cars and money. And that is why African leadership does not attract our best men and women. And African electorate also responds to money. I do not know whether it happens here in Africa, in Ghana. The African electorate also expects to be bribed so that they can vote. And until the day we are able to exercise the ghost of ethnicity, among other things, and the ghost of corruption in Africa, Africa will never get good leaders.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. I was gonna say, go ahead and I guess I don't know, hop on your phone or.
Yeah, let me hop on the phone. Let me
Okay, we can, you know, people gotta hear
things. Leave call.
Yeah, but everybody, thank you for joining us. Make sure you like the video and share. The brother who super chatted, let me hold on one second. I gotta here we go. Noski1, I appreciate the super chat, brother. Thank you so much for donating to the Africa Personified Ministries. So thank you so much. As Brother College Genesis gets situated on his phone, we will continue. Let me go ahead and put the link to the BAIO. Make sure you guys go to the BAIO and sign up as well. Put the link in here. I know Doug, our moderator, he gets on me for posting these links wrong. So basically what you're gonna have to do is copy and paste the link. And then that's how you guys, that's how you will go to the site. Just copy and paste the link into your browser. Because for some reason, when you click on the link, it won't work. All right, so Lumani, how you doing? What's good? What's good? Everybody, again, thank you for joining us. I know that it's petty tribalism. That's why we're saying tribalism is a new coonery. Europeans, no matter what tribe they were from, got together at the Berlin conference and came together and figured out how they're gonna carve up Africa. But we can't even unite as tribes in our own damn city. You know, everybody can come together. You just saw North Korea, what happened in Korea as far as North Korea and South Korea pretty much coming together. I mean, that's a power move. That's a Asian tribal move. All right, they're coming together to unite. All right, but again, in Africa, tribes don't even get along in their own city. So they did, but see, Cohen, that's the thing. They did fight world wars. But the issue is when it came to Africa, they were united. No matter how much they killed themselves, shot themselves, murdered themselves, and fought with each other. When it came to Africa, when it comes to Black people, they get on code. And that's the issue. We don't get on code. You know, we might need another Shaka Zulu to come through Africa and either get down or lay down and force these Africans to unite. That's probably what we need. We need another Shaka Zulu. And let me show you guys your new black queen. Hold on. Let me show you guys your new black queen, everybody. Hold on one second. This is the new black queen, everybody. Here goes our new black queen. The new black queen, everybody. Meghan Markle. And you have some Africans living vicariously through Meghan Markle, for goodness sake. But everybody, shout out to the new black queen, Meghan Markle. God's sake. You see, stuff like this gives me little hope for a lot of Africans. You had Africans vicariously living through Meghan Markle, who doesn't even identify as black. She said it herself, I am biracial, I'm not black. But still, Africans are so desperate, and black people, whoever, just black people in general, are so desperate and believe that the white man's ice is colder, even though we have plenty of African royalty, that they would reject African royalty. Throw it in the trash to claim the English throne, who colonized damn near the whole planet. That's how sick we are. That's how sick we are. We will fuck African royalty. I want English royalty, which colonized damn near the whole planet, wreaked hell in Africa. I mean, if you look at the Mau Mau in Kenya, okay, the Mau Mau in Kenya went to war with the British for freedom. So you have a lot of Africans that are like, fuck the African crown. I want that British crown, even though they colonialized us, murdered, raped, pillaged. Fucking all of our African artifacts are in their museums and they won't return it. But damn it, I don't care. I'm gonna put all that to the side just to live vicariously through Meghan Markle, who does not identify as black. We are sick. We are sick. All right, where's hold on one second. Where Caligenesis go? Hold on. All right, he said he's having some technical problems. Uh-oh. Hopefully we get the brother back on soon. Only in, this is the thing, only in America is a mixed person considered black. Everywhere else you're colored. Kyle's coming back. I'm just waiting. He's having some technical. Here he goes. Kyle.
Yeah, I had to use my my computer because my phone somehow it kept crashing. Wouldn't let me on the phone.
All right, but I don't know. You have headphones or you don't?
Headphones. Oh, you think
it's
that was
it's not that. It's just you keep going in and out. Like your phone, like whatever setup you always have towards the end of the show, it works perfect. But
how's it right now?
It's a little bit better.
Am I going down? Yeah, no, because I didn't have my thing plugged into my computer. I was just talking on thing. So
okay, that's better.
Till we get the echo.
Yeah, we good. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Now, before I want to ask you, what do you think about the second video with Tanzania? He said he made
because when I was in Tanzania, I mean, there really wasn't. I didn't experience any tribalism like I do everywhere else.
Right.
And
that's why. You know why? Because of the leadership.
Mm-hmm.
The leadership, Julius Herrera, made it almost See, it comes from the top down. The leadership sets the tone of the nation. Now, if a leader wants to divide people, pit people against each other, and stuff like that, it's going to filter down into the common man. Julius Nyerere was a brilliant, wise leader. You know what I'm saying? He saw all this stuff, and the tribalism was the reason why Europeans and Arabs were able to rule black people for so long by pitting people against each other. So if you're going to come into power and you call yourself an African leader and you use tribalism, you are just a freaking enemy and a coon, just like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get up there and talk about my tribe, my this. It got to get to the point where almost we have to just basically make tribalism almost like a misdemeanor, criminal offense almost, you know, because of what it leads to. You know, I know that's highly controversial, but notice one thing I noticed when you're a Nigerian sister that came on your show a couple weeks ago, right? When she said, when you asked her about, and all of a sudden, you know, it's like, oh, you hold your breath. What do you think about African American, Black American men? And everybody's like, you know, you just knew what was going to come out, you know,
gangsters, you know.
Right. So therefore, I bet you any money if you walked up to one of those sisters, that one Yoruba sister, and asked them, well, what do you think about Black America? You know exactly. I will bet you $500. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you exactly what she would say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because what it is when you see, this is why when Black people, and I learned this from dealing with Liberians, right? And now it doesn't bother me because I understand the culture and mentality is not that developed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not putting anybody down. Like, I'm just telling it like it is. When you make generalization, that's like your primal instinct. You know, don't say it with the whole group of people. Don't say it. But you notice how you'll never hear them say that about white people, Chinese people, Asians, Asia. It's only another Black person. You know what I'm saying? What is it about your fellow Black person that you got to use tribe to separate yourself with? But the same people,
it's ego. It's ego.
Yeah, you know, ego. It's ego. So in other words, basically, let me ask you a question, Dinah. Do you think a tribe is nothing but a glorified gang or what?
I would say this. At one time, it wasn't, but in regards to Africa, it's getting to that point because you have nothing to show for tribalism.
Yeah. So in other words, basically, so when people talk about the Bloods and the Crips, right, we can say they're our tribe, right? But they're gang. We recognize them as gang.
Right.
You go in their set or wear the wrong clothes, you kill. But the ordinary African American don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I can go to any part of the country and feel at home. You know what I'm saying? I can go to the Gullah people of South Carolina, Georgia. I can go to Chicago. I can go to Louisiana. I can go to New York, California. I can go any place. And I say, okay, these are my people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then the people that don't accept you are the thugs and the lowlifes and everything like that. But what I'm saying is this, though. Why is it that the face of African culture is that ugly face of tribalism and division? You know what I'm saying? That's the face of your culture. That's what you put out to the world. I don't think they have any conscience of what they're saying when they say stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You're just making a generalization about your fellow Black person, or you don't see yourself as Black, and you're in the same so-called country. Now, if somebody looking at that, the Chinese looking at that like, that's the Nigerians supposed to stand up to us? We can easily just divide and conquer these people. You know, divide and conquer these people. And what do you call it? Now, tribalism is based on superficial aesthetics. I'm going to say it, and I believe that. Superficial aesthetics that basically only derive from a primal, primitive point of view. You know what I'm saying? In other words, basically, we all can be tribal when it comes down to it. You know what I'm saying? When it's based tribal. Let me give you an example, right? Do you remember when, back in high school, you have a football team, right? And then they give you, that's where you practice your tribalism with your school. You know, you're playing this other team over there. They got the mascot, and everybody got their jersey, and they got their jersey. And we're gonna beat them and beat them. But who? Let me ask you a question. Who gains the most out of the whole rah-rah, let's our team wins? Is it the football star or that the nerd kid who, because he wears that jersey, he's suddenly a part of something? You know what I'm saying? You see?
I don't know, because the football star would gain a lot out of it because he might get a scholarship.
But with the football stars is thinking to himself,
and hoes.
He football guy can say, well, even if football doesn't make it, I can do something else or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can do something else or whatever. But the person that's a nerd, whatever, that's his time to really shine. And then I noticed that too when I was growing up a kid. That kid that basically, okay, when we're playing this big team and he got the jersey on, this, and he's the more rah and stand. Yeah, rah, yeah, we'll keep that today. And everybody else is like this. When he sees, let's say he sees somebody hanging out with he may have friends in the other school. Well, you ain't got one from, they're the enemy from other school. It's like, shut the hell up. It's just a ball game. No. I saw him hanging out with some guys from the other school. You see how it works? You want to be part of something because that's all you have to protect yourself is that particular identity. You take that away from that person goes crazy. And the same thing with tribalism. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you basically are relying on, let's say you're Igbo and you don't really have that much going for yourself, but the Igbos are known to be good businessmen and everything, you can ride on the fact that you're Igbo to get you over in life. So you want to benefit from tribalism and putting other people down and generalizing other people, right? Because you get a free meal. It's your free meal ticket. So why would anybody want to lose that? Problem is, you have a whole country out there. That's the thing. Now let me give you an example. Like when in the video, it said Tanzania said they have 100 tribes. 100 tribes. That means there was nothing going on for hundreds of years. Tribes disappear within 10 years of interacting with each other. How do you have 100 tribes in 2018? Wow, you know what I'm saying? But it's just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling how this is. And the Europeans, when they created these borders and boundaries, they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew that these boundaries, these people would never fight with each other. If two people are opposed to each other, right? They're not going to come together and say, let's build a railway, let's build an irrigation thing. We work from here to here. Let's do this right here because it's an overriding good. Why?
Right.
Because they're divided by tribalism. You know what I'm saying? This is why projects, if one group of people gets in power and somehow he musters his tribesmen to take power in an election, the next people what he does is fire all his the previous people and hire all his tribal people. Right. And that's what led Nigeria to the first couple of coups. You know what I'm saying? Tribalism. And the people that preach tribalism are the greatest enemy to all of us.
Hey, Kala, real quick. Somebody's saying, bro, this is misinformation. Please find an African immersed in their traditions to speak on tribalism. Dude, okay. I feel like at times, me personally, a lot of Africans try to overcomplicate tribalism.
Right.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Because
I just don't understand how white people, Asians could put their differences aside,
right?
All right, and focus on we got to keep black people out of position of power. But meanwhile, black people don't understand that. African tribes don't get that. But then they want to use the excuse.
Check out.
But let me finish. But then they want to use the excuse, well, it's complicated. Like, what are you talking about? It's complicated.
It's not complicated.
It's so complicated. White people get together at the Berlin conference, chop up Africa, no problem. You got North Korea and South Korea right now, power move, and China. Asians come together and chop up Africa. Yeah. But meanwhile, we got Africans talking about some brother. There is no racism. No racism. There is no racism. The tribalism is complicated. You don't understand. It's complicated.
Because they're a bunch of idiots. That's why. You know what
I don't get it. I'm not buying it.
I tell you something. The whole thing is this: a lot of Africans feel like a deer in the headlight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Feel like a deer in the headlight. they did not think that they had no idea that people like you and I would come on the scene. You know what I'm saying? They thought this free ride in the West and everything. When they're around African Americans, let me tell you something about my brothers from Africa, right? When they're around us, oh my brother, my brother, my brother, my brother. But as soon as you I know because I track them in their websites and everything like that, but as soon as they get around each other, get around each other, it's all back to tribalism and the African politics, which we're not a part of. They don't see us as a thing. But at the same time, right, when it comes to white people, you know what I'm saying, it's a whole different ballgame. Remember something. If you look at African Christians, all good things come from above, right? So if you look at the map of Africa, right, what is on top of Africa? Europe. Why do everyone wants to get there? Europe is heaven. You know what I'm saying? In Africa, they trust Europeans to educate their children better than their own institutions. You know what I'm saying? If they're run by another tribe. You got people saying, well, I studied, my kids studied abroad in Europe. I'm like, wait a minute here. Look at the University of Japan, one of the best universities in the world. They turned out some of the best educated people that built modern Asia. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tell me, what is it that, is there something in the walls in European universities? Is the architecture made a certain way? Is the bricks lined with vibranium? Something like that? What is it that's in Oxford that you can't build in the University of Lagos? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why do you have to send your kid abroad to be brainwashed, right? He comes back with more contempt for his own homeland, you know, and he comes back with more tribal. Now he comes back smart enough how to use tribalism to his advantage to exploit and rob the country and for his own personal ill-gotten gains and get into politics. The problem is very, very simple. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. We have never addressed the fundamental problem in Africa. It was not colonialism. It was a 400-year transatlantic slave trade. You know what I'm saying? Africans do not even teach that in the universities. It's not even taught that. They don't talk about their role in the slave trade.
Okay, you know what's crazy? Me and the brother Amara were discussing that, and I told him, like, brother, it's important that needs to be taught. Amara believes that it shouldn't be taught because they defeated the white man. I'm like, well, I'm like,
my brother Amara, this ain't your thing, but you know what the problem is? Or with him is, okay, he's in Kenya about he's found peace, right? And this is a problem I told you where a lot of African Americans who go over to Africa. Sometimes they're more dangerous than people who are against going to Africa in the first place. Because they go to Africa and they develop their mindset. You know what I'm saying? Their mindset. That mindset of, okay, don't talk about racism. Don't talk. It's like if you see a rape or somebody who was if a woman knows that the guy down the street raped her, right? Raped her 15 years ago and everything like that, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say she has a kid, right? And that guy who raped her, molested her, has a son or daughter, whatever like that. And those son and daughter starts becoming friends. Just wouldn't sooner or later, she was gonna be like, wait a minute here. This is what happened with his dad. This is what happened with his dad. Or you brush it under the rug. Africans like brushing things under the rug.
Right.
Because the thing is, we don't brush things under the rug because we can't. Because we come from a literary history. Everything we do is recorded. You know what I'm saying? It's recorded in a book. And with the internet now, things are really recorded because you see videos and stories that have been completely forgotten are coming back to the surface. You know what I'm saying? So Africa is, like I said, the deer in the headlight. Like, Dad, you mean tell me we basically allowed this to happen, 400 years of the transatlantic slave trade and everything like that, and all the stuff like that. We allowed Africa to fall like this, and we can't just say, hey, well, let's just move on. You know why? Because the world, this is another thing. You can fool many people some of the time. You can fool some of the people most of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. The world does not have the confidence in Africa at this day. Why do you think to this day public opinion is still with the whites in South Africa? Public opinion is still with multinational corporations who's bleeding Africa dry. You know what I'm saying? World public opinion is still other thing that Africans can't govern themselves. You see it over these trolls, these rich, they really believe that. that Africans should be colonized and everything like that. So what has Africa done to correct the image?
And they really haven't believed in, a lot of people believe in that the Bantu was not in South Africa, and that
right.
Discovered by the white South Africans.
And that Africans never produced civilization. We never had cities like Great Benin and Mali and Timbuktu and stuff like that. They'll say those are Arabs that may have lived there. You know what I'm saying? All these things go on and never really challenged. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what we do, it seems like until we get Africa right, until Africa gets on a trajectory of positivity by reconciling with the African Americans and the Africans in diaspora and everything, that'll show the world, yeah, we're serious. We're on the upswing. But when they see Africans and African Americans divided, they see Nigerians can't get along because of tribalism. They see the Central African Republic cut in half because half the people are fighting each other over imported religions, Christianity and Islam and everything like that. The world sits back and like, you know, these are just children. These are just fools and everything like that. These people never produce anything. They'll never produce anything. And so that permeates out to all the black people in the world because we are never going to be respected until our mother confidence. Every time you read a Japanese and everything, he's standing up for proud and everything. You meet somebody from China, he knows what's and back of him. It's almost like the Chinese nation, 1 billion people is behind it, all the great achievements. He knows, and you know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I'm saying is, I'm telling the African brother, wait a minute here. You guys walk around talking about your degrees, but look at your home country.
Right.
And I'm gonna keep saying that. You know, there's no Africans control Africa. That's a lie. That's what we tell ourselves because we don't want to do the real work. The real work is until Africans kick the freaking British out of Kenya fully, until they really kick the British out of South Africa and out of Namibia. And all the land in Namibia is owned by Germans and Europeans and Afrikaners. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Africans are spectators in their own country. You know what I'm saying? The British, the British Petroleum, African Nigerians don't dare say, "Wait a minute, this is our homeland." That's one thing Ken Saro-Wiwa did have right and whatnot. Why are these of the Ogoni? I don't remember the Ogoni situation back in '95 when Ken Saro-Wiwa was executed. You know what I'm saying? He was executed because he led an Ogoni uprising in the Delta. You know what I'm saying? You know, at that time I was for pro-Nigerian government. You know, I thought he was just another rebel. Now I'm looking at it right here. I'm like, what gives? Because I believe in the government of Nigeria. I believe Nigeria is going to be a superpower. I believe all their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then when I look at it, I'm saying, wait a minute here. Shell oil went right back in there and start polluting the thing right again and everything. The Ogoni people and all the Delta people are still getting polluted. They lost their land that they had for thousands of years and everything like that. And they have no say-so over the oil revenue that goes to the federal government and using to milk the country and sent to Switzerland.
Right.
So I've evolved over the years. You know, that was back in '95. That was 23 years ago. I remember when that happened, you know, and I was on team, Nigeria, man, and all these people, because he had a lot of support in the West, right? I said, these are Westerners trying to undermine a great black country and all stuff like that. I was young and naive, you know what I'm saying? I was young and naive, but I know better now, you know? So therefore, that's a problem. Tribalism is the biggest thing confronting Africa right now. If we don't get the hand on this one, you can forget Pan-Africanism. Tribalism is more powerful than Pan-Africanism because Pan-Africanism has never taken a root in Africa. Pan-Africanism was created in the West out of the African American and the African diaspora experience, right? Mm-hmm. And it was introduced into Africa by people like Nami Ezekiwe and Kwame Nkrumah and Patrice Lumumba. You know, and Homo Kenyatta and all these other brothers that came here were educated in the United States. You know, and so therefore, the West made sure that the indigenous Africans took power. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel they can control them better with tribalist culture. You know, that's why they don't like this Pan-African ideology and everything. Like the Pan-Africanism means we don't care. Where you are, if you're black and you're African, we're all one. Right. I'm saying the bigger picture, the worldview, a Pan-Africanist worldview. And without a Pan-Africanist worldview, you're never going to be able to stand up to the West. You're never going to be able to stand up to China. You're always going to have people going across the desert, getting captured by Arabs and sold in slave markets in 2018. You know, I want somebody to debate me on that. What has tribalism done for you lately? You
Nothing.
know,
I told you that. They have nothing to show for it lately. Nothing.
Nothing. You know, no unity, no nothing. Tribalism means because of tribalism, you got Ghanaians hating on Nigerians. You can't travel hardly to Nigeria and Ghana and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? There should, matter of fact, the distance between Ghana, the western part of Nigeria and Ghana, is like going from New York to Maryland. That should be an easy ride, right? There should be trucks, trains, and everything going there. Accra and Lagos should be connected by sea, rail, air as a huge trading hub for the whole entire continent, right? No such thing. You know what I'm saying? No such thing. You know, Ghana, most of Ghana's trade is done by the Lebanese, you know what I'm saying? And European shipping companies and everything like that who got their own little sphere of influence. There's no unified shipping, there's no trade hardly between African states. Almost every state in the world, right? Your number one trading partner is your nearest country to your border, except in Africa. In Africa, your nearest trading partner is your former colonial master. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and the British dumped their goods on the Nigerian market, you know what I'm saying, and the Ghanaian market, usually old computers, old clothes, everything like that. And Nigerian customs, that's a joke. You know, a little envelope with a few dollars in it when I get you past customs and everything. And so there's no checks and balances, no sense of nature to what's going on in our nation. It's just everybody trying to get money, everybody trying to get paid, everybody trying to get this. But these are the type of people that always judging us. So why are you going to talk about this? Why? Because they're on Nairaland's site right now, probably talking about us. You know, and what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know. So if they say that we're not doing what we're doing in America, I wanted to ask you a question.
Go ahead. And can the after you ask the question, can the brother Holopism come in?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
The question I want to ask. I'm back away.
I don't hear it, but I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I hear. I always hear it in your room. It's like it's coming from. So it's coming from the hangout somewhere. I don't know how it's happening. Maybe something was picking up my voice somewhere. Well, anyway, the question I want to ask is, dang, I thought this thing makes me lose a train of thought.
So at NAM, you hear an echo? I don't hear an echo.
Okay. It go. Oh, there it is. Hold up.
Jabbing bullets. It is a simple issue, but we're just overcomplicating the issue. Like it's 2018. I mean, everybody else could unite and come together, but we still talk about some. I'm Fulani. You're Igbo. I'm Ashanti. You Fanti. I don't like you. Or you know. Or here's my favorite. Well, the president is Fanti, so therefore he's partial towards his own tribe. Like we ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah. I personally don't understand.
We need
it, you know, like
Shaka Zulu to come in and start taking heads off. Like, look, get down or lay down.
It takes Shaka Zulu to do one thing, right? Shaka Zulu do one thing. He knew after he was visited by the whites and everything, he sat back and he explained to him what's going on. That's slave trade and everything like that. Oh, this part of Africa. He probably first time that somebody his position probably understood what was going on the East African coast. You understand that people that were black, were being taken away from the African continent. You know what I'm saying? By people that were white. And how they do it is they basically befriend weaker tribes and stronger tribes and put them against each other. So Shaka Zulu had this idea of a black nation. All the black tribes were going to unite under one black nation to confront the whites. You know what I'm saying? Who were the real enemies. But the other African tribes didn't see that, you know? And they end up getting enslaved and conquered, you know? The enemy was the whites that were moving in. And then after the Africans despite all their differences and everything, were all the same. Now, let me give you an example. Same thing with the Greeks against the Persians. You know what I'm saying? All the Greek states united against the Persians, but there was a greater threat. The Spartans and Athenians and all these other people did not like each other. You know what I'm saying? You know, even the other different Spartan tribes did not like each other. But they understood a faraway threat like Persia was going to enslave them all. So they had to freaking unite in a way, or unite in a way to confront this threat. You know what I'm saying? In Africa, you do not have that collective. I don't know what it is because of literacy, not having maps. You know what I'm saying? Not having maps where you say, okay, this is you. This is what everybody looks like you are, right? This is the history right here of these people right here.
Hey, they're saying you have an echo.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Well, hold up, Ism. I think just hopped on.
Yeah. What you call yeah.
Peace, y'all.
Peace,
What's going on, brother? Oh, maybe my echo will go away. What's up, brother?
I'm cool. I don't really hear you echoing.
I see.
It's kind of funny how it works.
I think like some people.
I hear it. I hear it.
I don't hear it at all. Like it's fine.
Yeah, I don't hear it either.
Yeah,
no, I just want to say, man, it's like one of the things that I find really confusing is this romanticism about stuff that don't work.
Yep.
Because it's real simple to me. Is what we're doing working or is it not?
Yep.
And if it's not, why are you holding on to it?
Sacred cows.
You know, my thing is, I don't think that, me personally, I don't think that tribalism per se is the problem. I think the problem is our definition of the tribe.
Well, let me.
We have a limited definition of what the tribe is. It's like why cannot let's say we looked at ourselves as Africans, and that's the tribe.
They won't do that. They won't do that.
Would tribalism be a problem if that's what you did?
Yeah, that would be great, but Africans don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of course not. I mean,
because
it gets back to the point that I was saying is, if something is not working, why do people have this romantic connection or this romanticism and sentimentality about it?
Oh, check this out. I want to say something, right? I want to say something, and this is a segue to something I meant to say in defense of the so-called indigenous cultures, right? And I've been studying this, right? Now, one brother told me, right? I have this one guy in the business I do and whatnot, and this guy is a Nigerian Ijaw, right? He was shocked that I knew his tribe, right? But by his personality, I knew exactly what tribe he was. He was, how do you know what tribe I'm in? I said, I just know these things, right? So he knew I knew Ijaw. He's like, how do you? I said, so I do, and he knew I was one up on him. I'm not a typical African American who's stupid, don't know anything, right? He's like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about, this guy knows what he's talking about. So anyway, the way these guys explain to me is the Biafran and these people have a kitchen. Now, the legitimacy of a tribe, there's a difference between being a tribe and an ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, whoa, hold on. Somebody was telling me that a tribe is an ethnic group. You're saying
no,
it's not.
No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? The why? Because you could be part of a tribe, like I said about the football team, and you're not participating.
Now I hear the echo.
Yeah, this is so important. I gotta say this. My phone keeps does. I'm gonna try to say this. Hopefully echo. But if not, I'll let you guys handle it until I figure out what's wrong with my phone. Look, the tribe is just like this. It's like a band. Let's band together just for our basic survival. You know what I'm saying? Nothing above that, this, and the other thing. Because when you start moving into ethnicity, right? You are also, it has to do with learning. It has to do with kinship, building. You know what I'm saying? It has to do with shared sacrifice. It has to do with royalty. It has to do with learning and cultivation. All these things and everything like that keeps the people together. You know what I'm saying? Tribalism can change by just one war. Somebody can conquer you, right, and take your women off. There goes your tribe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tribalism just band together. Now, if you could say we're ethnicity, right? We could say we're ethnicity. And it's one way the one guy told me, he said, look, Biafra, we have a history that we have certain things we say to each other and certain things that we are to each other as Biafrans. You know what I'm saying? that was wrecked when the British came in and established this country called Nigeria. You know, and so suddenly they're in this place called Nigeria. And now instead of them being Biafran, which they were, you know, do they roll over and accept the fact that they should just get rid of their Biafran identity and just become a Nigerian and be dominated by three other tribes? You know what I'm saying? You had the Hausa, you had the Igbo, and you had the Yoruba. They have all the power. You know what I'm saying? They make all the decisions. You have no political power, no political voice and everything. And so you're just marginalized, right? But if you say, look, we want to secede from Nigeria and form our own ethno state, right? I really do believe that's a legitimate argument. You know what I'm saying? That's a legitimate argument. Why? Because they have their own towns, they have villages, they have their own commerce, they have their own kinship, they have their own rights and passages and everything like that. That's organized, it's passed down from generation to generation. They're not just tribal people trying to just basically survive. They're sort of developed, you know, into an ethnic group with a culture, with a tradition, with a heritage and everything. That right there, we have to weigh on the fact that okay, you know, okay, but now what you do not have a right to do is this. Is what I see a lot of people. They'll say I'm not. They'll say I'm Igbo, and then people attribute a lot of things to Igbos, like they're so smart, they get this bit right, and they'll go and attack somebody who's Yoruba. Oh, this stupid, or this that houses are stupid. Or you see them do with African Americans. Oh, don't stay to African Americans. Stay away from those people and everything. They use tribal bigotry and tribal. What I'm talking about is tribal racism and tribal bigotry. You know what I'm saying? Because you have advantage. Bro, hold on. This is what I'm saying. Like, there's no advantage in calling yourself an African if you live in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There is an advantage politically, socially, culturally, and rising up the rank of one of these three tribes. You know what I'm saying? That's different between you, the president.
No, I understand what the current situation is. I'm just speaking like if it wouldn't be that way if people saw each other as African. You know, I just want to say this. It's so much butthurt and defensiveness in this chat room that it's really like. Why can't we have? My thing is, why can't we have a conversation without everybody being so goddamn defensive? If you say something about Africans on the continent, then the first thing you do, oh, well, what about African Americans? If you say something about African Americans, well, what about continent? Can you just calm the fuck down and stop being so goddamn triggered?
Check this out. Hold on. What I see when people say about African Americans, like our boy Amin Ra, people almost let all the African American bashing just go. Yeah, see, you know, and my boy, he said this every day. Yeah, with a lot of people over here laughing at y'all in America. I'm like, don't laugh at us over here in America.
I don't even get, Kyle, I don't even get involved in those discussions. It's just like with, you know, people take shots at the nationalists and African-centered progressives and people in the BAIO, and they can sit back and take shots at us all day long. Nobody says anything, but we're a different breed. I'll get into your bitch ass.
Yeah, we will fight back.
Once I start doing that, then everybody's like, "Oh, he's cursing. Oh, he's so rude." Man, get the fuck out of here. If you're gonna come at us, we're gonna come at you.
Yep.
Bottom line.
Yep. And now tell me,
any Negro talking that we can do it right here. I'm an American shit. I'm gonna dig into your ass every chance I get.
Hey, bro, what's some of the comments what's some the comments that were saying?
It's people still defending tribalism, you know.
Oh, you gotta be kidding! After what I just said, they're still defending tribalism. What are some of the comments?
Of course,
one somebody did say that you know what I'm thinking. The problem is
what they're doing.
Stupidity,
they're overcomplicating tribalism. Like they're making it too complicated.
Yeah, you're right.
White people came together, Berlin Conference, carved that shit up. Right. Asian people come together, practice, and put it like this. Here we go. Asians come together, unite, practice Asian supremacy when faced against white supremacy, when faced against black people, when faced against anybody else, they feel threatened. Black people, Africans are the only people that will tell you, brother, it is not about racism. It is tribalism. There is no race.
The Chinese was all Chinese.
Check out, brother. Hold on. You have a thing. Whatever happened to your Michelin food group, African food group? Whatever happened to that?
What happened to it? It's still there.
Maybe I haven't seen you. Haven't posted nothing in a while.
No, I've been posting. They've been posting for a while.
Have you kicked me out?
No, you should be in. But you know what? You get banned so much, you probably kicked yourself out.
Well, anyway, this
I'll send you the link. I can't believe you.
Send it to the Jimmy Zion. You know, I'm banned. Kyle Genesis is suspended, so send me to Jimmy Zion. And check this out. Check this out. We had the idea, Hov had the idea of an future African fusion cuisine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now I know if I put that to some Africans, how dare you?
No. Hold on. Let me stop you. College Genesis, the brother he spoke to today, Napso.
He's good.
He came up with that same idea.
But the thing is, he's going about it in a way that you'll say, because he said, you know how he used that trap, the trap. I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to like relate to the young. I didn't want to laugh. Man.
Speaking so we can relate, I guess.
Please, I'm like, bro, please stop with that. I don't really want no trap. We gotta put the trap. I didn't want to laugh, man, but that shit was so funny. But he's a good brother, though, man. I wish him a lot. Like I said, even with Amin Rod, we're gonna probably go at it again. But he's a good brother, man. I just wanted him to see our point of view. You know what I'm saying? I believe in all these people, man. We can get them together, and we could work together and everything like that. Even we don't agree on a lot of stuff. If I can agree on 70% of what you say, I'll take it. Even 60%. You know what I'm saying?
I just added Dynasty.
Yeah. I just got it. I'm about to click on her. I'm about to approve it right now.
So the whole idea is an African fusion culture restaurant. Can you imagine soul food with? Let me give you that. Don't say Colin about the Ghana chef. Remind me, because I know I'm gonna forget. Right? Imagine soul food with Caribbean food, right? Jollof Nigerian rice. You know what I'm saying? Kenyan steak, and you know how they have. You ever see that Kilimanjaro's?
In Chomo, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the steak. The Kilimanjaro is a restaurant. Oh,
okay.
It's a restaurant. It's a restaurant in South Africa, and I think they had one in DC. I don't know what happened to it, right? It's an African restaurant, and they have a big steak. I love pot roast and stuff like that. I love meat. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's a fusion African restaurant. But I said that should be
Lord have mercy, these people are killing me.
But check this out. In Asia right now, in Chinese restaurants, right? You don't not only have Chinese food anymore, you have Japanese food, and sushi, and all these stuff like that. Chinese are learning sushi, everything. Why? Because they broaden you an Asian experience. And not only that, you have a lot of Taiwanese and everything are moving into these new city-state settlements in Singapore, Malaysia, and everything that are Asian fusion. So you got a modern Asian civilization that are borrowed from each other, trade with each other. You got Singaporean companies in Thailand. You got Thai companies in Malaysia. You got Japanese companies in South Korea, and all that. But you can't get a Nigerian to go to Ghana to build anything. And this is because we just hate. And one thing I was just trying to say to our brother today, I said the reason why I told him about Black Panther, he was like going in on Black Panther. I said no, brother. I saw a beautiful dark-skinned woman, Lupita, being kissed at the end of a movie, and that almost melted my heart. Almost put me in tears. You know what I'm saying? How women were honored like that in that movie. That movie was good. He was like, well, this, that, and the other thing. We didn't make it. I'm like, it wasn't for us. It was for Marvel. You know what I'm saying? It was for Marvel. Let's take the good out of Black Panther and run with it. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is we have people that's
all disingenuous anyway. It's like it kills me about these arguments is the same people that talk about ownership and Black Panther are the same people who fight us on nationhood. So which one is it?
No.
Which one is it? One minute you saying, oh, well, we don't own it. Then when we say, well, we got to own it. Oh, what y'all talking about? We got to own it for? It's like I'm really confused by where these people stand.
Right. Or if you talk about nationhood, you mean tell me you plan on governing yourself?
Right.
You plan on actually owning? Did somebody ask you, Dinas? You actually try to buy land in Africa?
Yeah, of course.
People are losing their minds. Go to those threads. Hold on. Go to those comments.
I already know how it is dealing with deep Negroes. We got a lot of deep Negroes in the chat room right now.
Losing their mind. You tell her, Dinas said,
what it is, Carly. You tell them you're going to Africa, then here comes the white man is Thanos.
Yeah. The white man is Thanos. You know
The white man gonna get you no matter where you are. If you go to Mars, he gonna take a space shuttle, go to Mars, and take over Mars.
No, he's gonna bring niggas back in handcuffs.
If you go to Asgard, he's gonna get ships to go to Asgard and take over the Asgardian resources.
The white man's everywhere. The white man's Thanos. You know what I'm saying? With the Infinity Gauntlet. Like I said. And these guys like this. The bottom line is this is a natural thing. People, that's why I said your brother Ahmed Rock, love the brother. He's living in Kenya, doing his thing, own business. Can't argue with a brother like that, Can't argue with a brother. But we're just saying with the BL, we believe in being more organized. You know what I'm saying? And just we have to provide for ourselves and build something on the continent. You know what I'm saying? And we could do that if we were organized. There's no concentration of black people on the African continent. Asians are concentrated. You know what I'm saying? How is that? How did that happen? That you got a Chinatown in Senegal right now.
Can I speak on that?
Yeah.
Why is it that everybody is so good? Like they say, oh, if you go to Africa, you're gonna bring your Western mindset over to Africa. you got Chinese teaching people Mandarin in Africa. Nobody cares about that.
Nobody cares about that.
Because you can bring your Eastern philosophy to China to Africa. You can bring your Northern and Southern philosophy. You can bring your European philosophy to Africa. But God forbid, African American here in America wants to bring
military American.
God forbid,
Black
then the sky is gonna fall.
Check this out. They use Liberia. See what happened in Liberia.
Yo, Kyla, take a breath, man.
Oh yeah.
What the hell? This guy is like supernatural, man.
Yeah, well, what you call Liberia? Liberia is perfect example. Liberia is perfect example they say, look, see, that's what happened. They'll bring the Negro culture to Africa and whatnot.
First of all, that is stupid on his face, and I've already addressed that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the person that they're talking about? This person, this negative African American, I guess the guy who's hanging out on the corner. Do you think that guy is gonna go get a passport so he can go over to Africa to hang out on a corner in Africa?
No.
Really? The only people going to Africa are people that want to go to Africa. Usually, the only people I hear talking about Africa is nationalists and African-centered progressives. I don't hear no bootlicking Negroes saying anything about going to Africa.
And they don't think we're trying to drag them. I ain't going.
So those type of people ain't gonna be over there anyway. So why do we keep hearing that? Oh, you bringing your bullshit over to the continent? The only thing we bring it over to the continent is nationhood. Yeah. That's our mindset. We don't look at each other as different. We're not bringing no different type of tribalism over there. At least not with me.
Which is how we believe in African fusion. You know what I'm saying? Because it's time for that stupid tribalism crap. You know what I'm saying? If you're black, if you're African descendant of the slave trade, you're primary. If you're not the slave trade, you're still welcome. You know what I'm saying? You think I'm gonna turn down? I'm gonna turn down legal gang thing?
We got to have the right people involved in the conversation, because what I notice is, like I say this all the time, if you got an electrical problem, what the hell do you need the opinion of a plumber for?
Right.
Let's get people who are qualified to talk about these subjects, talking and communicating amongst each other. There's a lot of, like, we don't need no deep Negroes there. Like if you say, oh, I understand, some deep Negro gonna come in. Well, brother, it's not understand. You gotta overstand. Man, shut the fuck up.
Hey, check us out. I want to say, remember the other Sunday we did that broadcast. Hope you asked me about feasibility studies, everything. Now the Rosenthal group had a feasibility study done. They'll say a really good feasibility study. This is what I'm talking about, right? A good feasibility study to do anything we're doing. You're gonna build city states, settlements, and stuff like that. Anything you want can happen. But you have a feasibility study by the top universities, and it costs money. You know what I'm saying? A good feasibility study runs from like $200,000 to $1 million. What Rosenthal has, you know what I'm saying, that I showed you on that cost $1 million. You know what I'm saying? So we already have, and I got like 100 pages of it, you know what I'm saying, on my computer. Rosenthal gave it to me. I'm one of 2 people that have it, you know what I'm saying? The idea of building the agenda for Africa to develop a whole entire continent using natural resources, gold bullion, and all these things and everything like that, country by country and everything, and also building new city states for black people from the West. This all right there in blueprints. Problem is, right here, we got the blueprints, we got the people on the ground, we got all these networks in there, we got all these everything, but we really just don't have the real people. And I'm gonna say something, Dinah.
Oh, Kala.
Yeah.
Isaac K is asking a question in the group that I think is really important. He's
Go ahead.
saying, you're speaking to like-minded here. I'm asking how the policy will be implemented. Would you suggest integration into current African nations or establishing an independent colony state? I'll let you feel that.
Okay, this is why I say it like this, right? First of all politics is local. You know what I'm saying? And I'm learning that more and more. I'm learning that here in America. Why you think the police shootings and everything? The federal government, the people think they're going to run to the federal government for help. It's the federal government is telling these police to do this aggressive policing. You know what I'm saying? To get a handle on the people. That's the federal government. So all politics is local. Every square inch of America is policed by the patrol, the police. Or you can't go no place without the police putting their hands on you. You know what I'm saying? Black people in America need to be organized themselves in a municipality. Now, I don't know what it is about people in the world. They think that black people in America can exist without having some sort of authority. Can I have a little bit of authority to say, you know something? We have our own board of education over here. I think this would be good to teach. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. You're African American. Blend right in. Integrate. Assimilate. Blah, 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 blah. Wait a minute here. We're trying to coordinate here because we have people here. We have educators and everything. Now, if we have indigenous people living with us, we'll talk about it. They're more than welcome to join our community. You know what I'm saying? Now, wouldn't that make sense for the whole about Dynasty?
Yeah,
if you're building something, right, and you're putting your money, you're going to be on the line to pay for the infrastructure, the roads, the telecommunications, or the telephone, all this infrastructure, right? You're on a 30-year bond that you're where your settlement got to pay for, your taxes and everything. So you only got a limited amount.
They're actually doing something similar to that. What you brought up here in Atlanta. It's two cities. One called City of Stonecrest, and another city called South Fulton.
Right.
Where they're kind of is black ran, and it's somewhat, I guess, I don't want to say autonomous, but what you just mentioned,
I heard something like that. But they, like I said, you're still part of Atlanta. You're still going to be under the Georgia taxpayer. They can provide the primary hard infrastructure. The road. I know you ain't telling me. I'll never believe black people will ever build a hard infrastructure on American soil. I'll never.
That's never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
Only people who think that is people that have absolutely zero education on what infrastructure actually is. If people actually learn what infrastructure is, I bet you if they're honest player, because a lot of these people are just trolls who just here to just cause confusion. But if you're an honest player and you're actually trying to get to a healthy conclusion on this subject matter, learn about what infrastructure is.
Yeah, infrastructure.
Because one of the things that with me that really is frustrating is a lot of the people, these we can do it right here dudes, is I always ask them, I'm like, okay, so let's say we establish a nation within a nation inside of America. Who's going to be in control of the water supply? Who's going to be in control of the electrical lines? Who's going to build the roads? Like, how is that going to happen? You're going to do that inside of America?
Yeah.
I mean, do you not remember the Civil War?
Do you remember Waco, Texas?
Yeah. I mean, they killed white people who tried to separate from the nation.
And they're never going to let black people.
You think they're going to allow you to build an independent, separate infrastructure inside of America? The only way you can possibly think that is if you're ignorant.
Yeah.
There's no way that you could be an educated person and actually come to that conclusion.
I'm going to tell you something. I was stupid at one time because I used to believe it too.
Yeah, me too.
Me
too. I was into that nation within a nation bullshit until you start really thinking about things from just a common sense perspective.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is this: like you said, to the victim belongs the spoils. America is. This is another thing I can't stand people say. Well, this ain't the white man's land. He stole it.
So if somebody, like I said before in the last time, if somebody steals your coat, isn't it their coat now? Unless you take it back.
Remember,
Are you taking America back from the white man? Please type that in the chat room for all of you. We can do it right here, niggas.
Debo, what changed?
You taking it back?
Oh, you know what? Actually, I am holopism because I am an indigenous Mo from Turtle Island, and I was brought here, and the slave trade happened in reverse. And all the slave dungeons on the west coast of Africa is a conspiracy theory. So we do not get our land here in America because I am a Navajo indigenous Mo from Turtle Island, and America is mine.
Right. You know what I call that? Y'all want me to do the rundown?
What is that?
I call that the We Can Do It Right Here. Captain America Negroes, militant integrationists, Black Power Americans, situation radicals, arbitrary activists, conveniently conscious, Facebook and YouTube pretendians, Native American tweeters, indigenous Instagrammers, and Stockholm Syndrome having ass Negroes. That's what I call them.
They'll do anything to justify their hold on America. Like I said, what do you have? What do you have left here in America? America has made it clear. You know, saying when they gave that officer Shelby her job,
You didn't answer the question though, Kyla.
What's that?
The question is what I asked.
Oh, what question was this?
Oh damn! I got to scroll back up. I thought you got it. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, about the guy. I said this. Now, the point about trying to say this: if we have a land, right, piece of land, you know, land. Look, this is what gets me about Africa and Africans and everything.
Wait, before you get into it, this is the question. He says, I'm asking how the policy will be implemented. Would you suggest integration in the current African nations or establishing an independent colony state?
No, okay, this is what I would suggest is a homeland under an existing African country in a host country. Something like a Dubai, United OAE, something like Italy and Sicily, something like Hong Kong and China, with a special administration zone. That means you get 90% of everything you want. You know what I'm saying? 90% everything you want. Taxes, you know, you control the infrastructure, schools, policy, everything. The only thing you don't really have is the your ambassadorship, which you can also with a host country. It was a beautiful situation. I don't know why this has done years ago. With the host country, right? You can have your own consulate. That means everywhere your host country has, if it's a strong country, you can set up a consulate inside their embassy with officers. So in other words, if you have an embassy in China, you set up a consulate. So therefore, just like the United States have, the state of Virginia has consulates around the world. You know what I'm saying? For people in the business. Because remember something, America was first started, right? There wasn't that many people. Now you got New York City is wealthier than America was when it first started. New York City alone. California, all these states in America could actually become their own countries. But we're held together by a stupid, outdated political system with disenfranchised millions and everything. So this is, like I said, this is about time. This is coming. Black America has gotten to the point where maybe it's time for us to govern ourselves, as the topic of the last show. So this is not just something that we're talking about. This is a natural progression. You know what I'm saying? People think we're off the rock. This is a natural progression. This is how it's grown in America.
I want to answer a question that somebody posed in the chat room. They saying, they asked who's going to give up land to you, and I think the question itself is the problem.
Well, we already have offers.
Hold on, Kala. Calm down. Take a deep breath.
I ain't say nothing.
Why do people assume that somebody's going to give you something? Has anybody ever heard of the term mutually beneficial interest?
Yep.
Why do you think that we're looking for a handout? You know? So my question is, why do you think that somebody's going to give us something for nothing?
It ain't gonna be like that.
Because I can tell you, we have already within the PAIO, we have countless projects we're working on now with people on the African continent. Mutually beneficial projects. So this whole concept of us going over to Africa with a hat in our hand is bullshit. But, you know, people, that's the narrative that people, you know, let me ask the question. Since everybody's in this question asking shit, do black people deserve to have some land of their own? Do they deserve to control anything on this planet? Or are we supposed to just be living under the socioeconomic and political domination of not only the white man, but just pick a group? Any other group, we're just going to live under their shit. We never supposed to have our own?
That's what I'm trying
Answer
to say.
that question for me.
That's what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to get at. We're not supposed to have anything.
Because every time I just don't get the pushback. All we're saying is that black folks need to have something of their own. Why are you pushing back against that?
Because they want to see us as slaves. People like being slaves. They like seeing us humiliated. You know what I'm saying? They like to see us down.
I mean,
they like seeing
ask
us
the
getting shot.
bootlicking Negroes in this chat room who's against nationhood. Why are you against nationhood? Why? How come every time we start talking about black folks having something of their own, we get pushback from you? What's your problem? But you got absolutely no. How come no? Like, it's such an issue getting land in Africa. But did anybody give that note to the Chinese? The Chinese must have missed that memo.
You know.
Everybody else is over there snatching up resources, taking land, taking gold mines and diamond mines. What happened? How come? I thought you couldn't get no land in Africa. I thought nothing can go down in Africa. But the only time we get pushed back is when we want something in Africa.
You know.
And we're made to feel like we shouldn't even want that.
Yeah.
Who are you that you should deserve land, nigga? Who are you?
Because they know that's the one thing we don't. As African Americans, the most powerful group of black people on the planet, they know when we get that land, no matter how big it is, they know it's like Thanos getting the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's
you want to see Thanos? Let us get some land. You'll see
let's
Thanos.
Get land. We're gonna take the freaking planet
with the Infinity Gauntlet.
We're gonna blow the whole planet, the universe out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They know it too. That's why there's such a pushback. No one cares about listen, I'll be honest with you. No one when Senegal said they was gonna give land to the Haitians after the earthquake, nobody gave a damn. You know what I'm saying? None, I love my Haitian brothers and everything, but they're not us. When you talk about African Americans, black people in America, one of the powerful groups of people on the planet, we're more powerful, more influential than the French, the Italians, and all these other people. But our culture and influence as 400 years, you know what I'm saying, has dominated the world, has basically from Russia to the United States, World War II, from Jesse Owens, we have the greatest impact of the last 200 years out of any group of people on the planet.
Oh, here we got this, and we got this Aunt Nam idiot in the chat room giving out misinformation.
Oh, he said we enslaved Liberians. Okay.
Yeah. Can I ask a question? Yeah. I want to ask a question. Liberia, the name Liberia, where did that come from?
Liberty.
No, who came up with the name? Who named the land Liberia?
African Americans.
Okay, so then what was the land name before it was called Liberia?
How can
you be a native Liberian if you're not claiming the African Americans that named the land? I mean, am I asking something? Am I asking a ridiculous question? Is that stupid?
No, yes, it's perfectly.
What was it called before it was called Liberia? Why aren't you calling yourself that?
No, because they like the name. Because Liberia gives them. They want to use the heritage of Liberia to go around. Oh, well, Liberia, we're the oldest republic and all stuff like that. A republic our ancestors built. You know what I'm saying? It took 130 years to build. You know what I'm saying? With nothing.
You're not answering the question. You're not answering the question. I'm not talking to you, Kyle. I'm talking to people in the chat room. I asked, what was it called before it was called Liberia, and why aren't the people that were native to that land calling themselves that right now? Feel free to answer anytime.
Crickets.
Yeah, go ahead, because we ain't gonna get no answer.
It says, I thought somebody chat Jay said, but I thought they did enslave the inhabitants of Liberia. Maybe I'm wrong. Yes, you're absolutely wrong. You're absolutely wrong. There's no such thing.
Oh God, we got a big tower in the group.
Check this out. The whole thing is this. And check this out. It's about tribalism. I do believe that the biggest target of African tribalism is black people from the West. If the white man and these dumb Africans can keep tribalism up, they know they can keep anything that we want to do on the continent at bay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, Colin,
yeah.
isn't a native Liberian an African American?
A native Liberian? Yeah.
Native Liberian.
A native Liberian is the indigenous people that lived there prior to
But they can't be they can't call themselves Liberian.
They're their tribe. Matter of fact, to tell you the truth, Ola, before they weren't considered Liberians until like 1945, where the unification part came in. Before that, they were known by their tribe. And then we did this thing of we're gonna make them all Liberians, and look how that turned out. 35 years, and they were tying us some poles on the beach.
So then let me get this straight, because and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm definitely no genius. So the name that they were called was removed, right? Before the land was called Liberia. So now they're embracing the name of the people that they claim. They're embracing the name of the people that they claim aren't supposed to be there.
Yeah. Yes, bro. Like I said,
Aunt Nam, you didn't answer the question.
No rhyme or reason.
Answer the question that I asked, you fucking idiot. And then you can start talking about who's ignorant or not. I asked you a specific question, and you haven't given an answer yet.
What you call the Liberians were Bassa, they were Grebo, they were Bai, they were James.
What happened to I saw that you did a show earlier, but I went to look at it and it was removed.
Who, me?
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah, the echo was so bad I had to remove it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, is that the MGTOW, these MGTOW foods?
Yeah, it was it had to do with MGTOW, but it was
like this Falcon Black MGTOW that's in the chat room. This
it was black men who suffer from the black woman Spanos complex.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. You got all black men. All they do all day is just make videos bashing black women all day. So we had to go in on them.
Yeah.
Woman is
I've
black woman is Spanos.
I've had plenty of shows on the MGTOWs, them non-pussy getting niggas.
Yeah, that's what it is. They can't stand there the fact that they can't control women the way they want to.
Negro, ain't nobody more emotional than a MGTOW. They like the most emotional triggered niggas I ever seen.
Oh, hey, I had promised Falcon MGTOW we weren't gonna roast them until Monday. So we gotta.
Oh, okay. I'll take a break. I'll pause.
Monday. Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Monday. Yeah, I have promised Monday.
Yeah.
But I'm a Falcon Black. Where are you from? I think Falcon Black. You're from Nigeria? I think he's from Nigeria. I'm actually gonna let him come on. I'm gonna let you come on, Falcon Black. You can defend why Africans should go MGTOW.
I'd love to be on that show.
Yeah, so Falcon Black, if you're down Monday, you versus Holopism, why Africans should go MGTOW.
I love to be on that show. These niggas talk mad shit when they're on the chat room. Then when you get them on live, then they start, backpedaling like Michael Jackson.
Doing the moonwalk.
So Falcon Black, let me know if you accept the challenge. I think it's only fair. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. We have to close out soon. I know you guys like to do the marathons, but I can't do it.
That's holiday.
Yeah. The 5-hour show.
Remember that Black Thought freestyle on Funkmaster Flex? That's Kala.
Yeah.
Kala just be going.
Yeah. That dude was ripping it.
Hey, Falcon Black said he accepts. So Monday, you versus Falcon Black on should Africans go MGTOW?
MGTOW.
Oh, please.
The question answers itself, really.
Well, I'm gonna say this, right? Which we call we African Americans saying that, and it's almost like can I have a piece of land? It's like asking for a piece of cake. You know what I'm saying? It's like asking for a piece of cake with somebody's plate has a whole buffet sitting out there where you say, "Can I get a little slice?" And they're like, "No." You know what I'm saying? All we want is just some place on this earth to say this is ours. You know what I'm saying? Our monuments, our heroes, our thieves, everything like that. Everything, just someplace to call our own. You mean tell me we don't deserve that after 400 years? Everybody always mock us. They always mock us. Well, you're in the white man's country. You this, that, that, the other. Okay, well, let's do. We want a land of our own. So while we're in the white man's country,
But
we can be like the Jews, sit back and say, "Well, look what we're building on the continent for our own."
Colin,
Yeah.
you know what we have to realize, and this is something that I think we all need to realize when we're dealing with online stuff. Online, what's happening online is sort of like a funhouse mirror of what is actually happening in reality, if you notice. I don't think that the divide is as great offline as it is online with people like me, because I get along with everybody. Like, there's no black folks that I can't um, congregate with and get along with.
Oh yeah, I proved that today.
I have continental Africans that's friends. I have Caribbean. You know, it's not really that big of a divide as people make. Even with the black man versus black woman thing, I notice that the energy for that is mostly online. When I'm offline, I deal with sisters all the time.
Oh, yeah. You ever see Kevin Hart?
I don't have no sisters rejecting me or saying, "Oh, I ain't gonna talk to you because I'm not gonna say good morning to you because you're a black man." Wait, who the hell goes through that? I don't go through that.
Did you ever see? Did you ever see Kevin Hart when he was talking about the internet? With the internet, he was like, he goes, "Who are these people that sit there all day?" And the way he cracked me cracking when he made his face. He got this face on, this sitting there typing.
Yeah, that's what the guys like Aunt Nam and this other MGTOW fool represent. It's like they want people.
Monday.
They want to rally around some non-existent cause.
Yeah, well, about causes, brother Buller. I seen a thing where I don't know whether this is a setup or not, but they got these huge gun clubs running around talking about we arming our people to patrol the police. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna rid our communities of the police.
Oh Lord.
And I'm saying to myself, these fools really think they're gonna muster and rise up against the police and whatnot. They don't understand. They don't seem to understand something, right? Inside the borders of America, right, is the constituted authority of America, right, gives the police the power to do whatever they want to do, whatever like that. There's no area that you control. You know what I'm saying? Unless you control the police department and you can take over, have an election, whatever, that's not going to happen either. Okay. The bottom line is this. You think you're going to go up against the police and start shooting police and all kind of stupid stuff and everything like that. And all of this is posturing. It's just posturing.
I can speak to this, brother, because initially the BAIO, remember, the BAIO initially was Brother Tim, me, Dev, a couple other brothers. And initially, that's what Tim wanted to address. The whole, he wanted to basically like form community patrols and stuff like that. And the problem with that is who's going to do that? Because if you're talking about community patrol, you're talking about people that's basically like a job.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's going to finance that? Who's going to pay?
Real quick, Colipson. So when I was in LA, the Jews had their own little special ambulance situation and their own special community patrol police.
They got that
right here in Brooklyn.
Westchester County, New York. Mount Sinai.
They got that in Brooklyn on Crown Heights.
They had their own situation in LA. I noticed that they had their own situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? They finance it.
They finance. They got tax base.
The people in the community finance those ambulances. They finance the security, everything that goes on. They got police squad cars. They got all of that stuff here in Crown Heights. They're like a little self-contained unit. But everybody in the community puts out a certain amount of money and they finance all of these things. And this is what I was trying to get Tim to understand.
They're incorporated.
I was trying to get Tim to understand this, is that this whole operating from the goodness of your heart stuff, that's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
If you want people to do work, you have to pay these people. They have to be able to sustain themselves. And if you're not doing that, then you can't require people to make these sacrifices. They're not going to do it. And it's not like I'm saying something that's unusual or controversial. Do we have any people doing it? There's a reason why we don't. I mean, one of the things that I said that we need to start, like right off the bat, we got to have a way to finance the things that we want. And even and I'm talking specifically to people who's living here in America and who wants to stay here in America. Well, that's cool. But can you at least come up with an African American fund?
Yeah, that won't be raped and robbed and siphoned off in 5 years.
Can we at least have that?
Hey, last question that we could close out. You mentioned the fund. Now I know Louis Farrakhan had the fund.
He did.
That's news to me.
Oh, okay. Well, I know he was saying he wanted people to donate.
Okay, everybody. Let me tell you, Boyce Watkins. If you look at all the characters we have out here now, Boyce Watkins, all these people that's gonna rise up and we're gonna.
What they gonna do, Callum?
They're gonna rise up. You know what I'm saying? Rise up. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about rise. I've been sitting there on the edge of my thing with Million Man March, man. I was like this. Yeah, this is it. We're gonna rise up one night. We're taking over one night. You know what I'm saying? A year after the Million Man March, man, I felt like a clown. You know what I'm saying? People come in, what happened to your Million Man March, man? I thought it was a revolution. I thought y'all gonna have a nation. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the hell happened? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I remember those times, back in them time periods.
The idea was great. Like when I went to the Million Man March, the idea of an African American fund where we can contribute $10. I mean, but that goes back to Elijah Muhammad. He suggested that, but then it's never been implemented.
Yeah. And the thing is, the problem is, here's the problem is this. This is the problem. I know we gotta go, Diane. I know you try to stay away.
Yeah.
The problem, the problem is this. We have people that get up there that have no respect for the masses of people. When the people that Hope and I try to talk to, that we know we're going to recruit, these are black people that are educated. They're going to be like this. You know, they look at you. You can tell when you talk to somebody who's a fool. You can tell when you talk to somebody who's educated, who got this stuff and all their ducks in a row. Now, to get those sort of people on board, like we, the BAL do, takes some doing. You know what I'm saying? And that took years of people listening to the whole thing in depth. They say these guys are for real. You know what I'm saying? They're not perfect, but they're for real. The problem is what you got with a lot of these people is, let's do this, buy my tapes, buy my economic program, all stuff like this. They're talking to people that are desperate, and they're talking to people that I don't know if they mean well, nothing like that, you know. But you got to be honest with yourself. How can you take $1,000 from somebody, you know what I'm saying, and tell them that you're gonna get rich and or have a business and everything, and you're selling them dreams. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what that does when they find out that, you know how many kits I had in my closet? Those, infomercial things. You know what I'm saying? Oh, get rich in real estate. I had so many of those things. Government grants. I did every last single one of them. You know what I'm saying? But that's a gimmick. They sell the kits. Now I'm saying to myself, okay, we understand the white man and all stuff like that. The same thing. But when your old people come to you with these, get rich quick, oh yeah, we're gonna do this and everything, and there's no infrastructure set up. There's no political, social you don't have no transparency, no social context, no anything. How you gonna tell you,
man? I'm gonna tell you this. This is my take on things, and this is my advice for people. I wouldn't give to no individual or single black cause if they don't have transparency. If we can't come up with a national fund with full transparency and accountability, don't ask the people for nothing. Keep your money in your pocket and take care of your family.
Yeah. Feed your
let
family.
The brother go to sleep, man. Let this brother get some rest.
All right, Dynasty, man. I'm out. You know how to get the whole BAL after stand 5. Dynasty about to fall asleep.
Yeah, man. Get some rest, man. You putting in work.
Give my book. Dynasty bought my book this week.
Absolutely. Hold on. Let me get it.
Put the book up here.
Hold on, it's right here. Here's the book. Here's
Journey to the Promised Land.
Here's the book right here.
By Dwayne McCullough, the College Genesis.
I'm gonna read it soon, and then we're gonna do a book review. But here's the book right here.
Journey to the Promised Land. about the Exodus of 1878 from Charleston, South Carolina to Liberia. It's a true story. It was the biggest event in African American history in the 19th century. It was history has been buried, but that was the front page news for months.
And on that note,
yeah, and we out of here. All right, Daniel. Thanks a lot, brother. Peace, brother.
All right, peace, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go to searchforuhuru.com, AfricaPersonified.Africa. Go to dynastymirror.com. Go to Amazon.com. Search your name, Dynasty Mirror. Please buy a book. Also go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also Africa Personified on those same platforms. Let me type the name of the book. It's Journey to the Promised Land. Hold on. Journey to the Promised Land. Voyage of the Bark Azor. It's on Amazon. Go check it out, everybody. So bam, there we go. So the next time, Dynasty Mirror, Search for Uhuru. Peace.
Peace.